video is all about kinematics, which is the link between distance, aka displacement, speed, and acceleration with differentiation, all right? If you know how to differentiate, this topic should be fairly straightforward, okay? You just have to memorize one special rule. Once you have this rule down, you're good to go. So kinematics is a link between distance, velocity, and acceleration. Another word for distance is displacement. So these are the same word. Velocity is just speed, and acceleration is acceleration. Let's look at a question together. A particle P is moving along a straight line. The fixed point O lies along this line. At time t seconds, the displacement s meters of P from O is given by s equals 4t cubed minus 6t squared plus 5t. At time t seconds, the velocity of P is v meters per second. Find an expression for v in terms of t. Holy crap, that's a lot. All right, but there's only a few things you have to spot. The only thing I need to see is that this formula is for the displacement, okay? Now, we have a formula for displacement, and we're asked to find the formula for velocity. When it comes to kinematics, there's one thing all you have to know is this. If you have the displacement formula, you can find the velocity formula by differentiating. And if you have the velocity formula, you can find the acceleration by differentiating again. That's it. That's all you need to know to answer this topic. All right, so I have the displacement formula. I'm asked to find an expression for the velocity. So if you have the displacement to find velocity, you can just differentiate. So let's differentiate this. 4 times 3 is 12, t squared. Minus 6 times 2 is minus 12, t. And then when it's just a number and a letter, it's just going to be the number, plus 5. And that's the formula for the velocity. Next, find the time at which the acceleration of the particle is 6 meters per second squared. Well, now, this question is about acceleration. So if I have a velocity formula, I can find my acceleration formula by just differentiating again. So 12 times 2 is 24, t minus 12, and that's going to be a formula for the acceleration. So make sure you put acceleration is equal to this. Now, find the time at which the acceleration is 6. So I know the acceleration is 6, so I'll replace a with 6, and just solve this equation. Plus 12 plus 12. 6 plus 12 is 18 equals 24t, and divide by 24. 18 divided by 24 is 0.75. And that's my answer. All right. So if you have the displacement formula, you can find the velocity formula by differentiating, and you can find the acceleration by differentiating the velocity formula. You can do this question by yourself. Here, next one. A particle P moves along a straight line. O is a fixed point on the line. The displacement s meters of P from O at the time t seconds is given by s equals t plus 36 over t plus 4, for t is bigger than 1. The velocity of P at time t seconds is v meters per second. By differentiation, find an expression for v in terms of t for t is more than 1. A lot of words again, but here's what I see. This formula is for the displacement, and I'm asked to find a formula for the velocity. So, same as before, if you want to find the velocity, you just differentiate the displacement formula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to differentiate this. So I have to differentiate t 36. Okay, before I do that, it's really hard to differentiate when you have a fraction. So I'm going to rearrange this. So t plus 36 over t is the same as 36. T to the power of minus 1 plus 4. Now I can differentiate. T is basically 1t. So 1t is just going to be just 1. 36 times minus 1 is minus 36. Subtract 1. A number just disappears. So 1 minus 3t minus 2. Next, find a value for t for which v is 0. So in this question, I know v is 0, so I'll replace v with 0. So 0 equals 1 minus 3t minus 2. To solve this, it's pretty hard to solve equations when you have a negative indices, so I'm going to rearrange this to this. Minus 3. Now we can put the t, negative 2 is the same as t, 3 over t squared. And I'm just going to solve this. I have three terms. Let's get rid of this fraction. Times t squared, times t squared, times t squared. 0 times t squared is 0. 1 times t squared is t squared. That cancels out. 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3 equals t squared. Square root. So square root of 3 is equal to t. The acceleration of p at time t seconds is a meters per second squared. Find the value of a when t is 2. So we have our displacement formula. We have our velocity formula. To find your acceleration formula, because this question is about acceleration, so we have to differentiate this formula. So 1 minus 3t minus 2. So numbers should disappear. Minus 3 times minus 2 is 6. T to the power of minus 3 is equal to the acceleration. Find the value of a when t is 2. So I'll replace t with 2. So 6. 2 minus 3 equals a. Let's put that into your calculator. Which is going to be 6/8. A is equal to 6 out of 8. All right. Next question. A particle moves along a straight line. The fixed point O lies on this line. The displacement of the particle from O at time t seconds is s meters, where s equals 2t cubed minus 12t squared plus 7t. Find an expression for the velocity, v meters per second, of the particle at time t seconds. So this formula is about the displacement. We're asked to find a formula for velocity, just differentiate. So 2 times 3 is 6t squared minus 24t plus 7. And that's our velocity formula. Find the time at which the acceleration of the particle is instantaneously 0. So this question is about acceleration, so I'll differentiate my velocity formula. So 6 times 2 is 12, t minus 24, 7 just disappears, and that's a formula for the acceleration. Find the time at which the acceleration is 0, so I'll replace a with 0. Just solve. Divided by 12, 24 divided by 12 is 2. So at 2 seconds, the acceleration is 0. Last question. A particle moves along a straight line. The fixed point O lies on the line. The displacement of the particle from O at time t seconds, t is greater than or equal to 1, is s meters, where s equals 3 plus 1 over t. At time t seconds, the velocity of the particle is v meters per second. Find an expression for the velocity in terms of t. Well, like before, guys, if you have the displacement formula, to find the velocity formula, you just differentiate. And if you have the velocity formula, you can find the acceleration formula by just differentiating again. So I'm just going to differentiate the displacements to find the velocity. So 3 plus 1 over t. Step 1, before you can differentiate, get rid of the fraction. So you can rewrite this as 3 plus, well, t is basically t to the power of 1, so t to the power of negative 1. Now we can differentiate it. Well, numbers disappear. So that just goes away. Plus t is basically plus 1t. So 1 times negative 1 is minus 1t. Subtract 1 from there, minus 2. And that's your velocity formula. Minus 1t minus 2. Find the acceleration of the particle at time t seconds. Well, now this question is about acceleration. If you have the velocity expression, just differentiate again. Just like here. So minus 1 times minus 2 is 2. T, subtract 1, negative 3 is equal to the acceleration. Find the acceleration of the particle at time 6 seconds. So I'm going to replace t with 6. So 2, 6 minus 3 is equal to acceleration. Just plug this into your calculator. And I think you get something like, you just do it, 0.00925, etc. is equal to the acceleration. And that's your answer. So you can do the rest of these questions by yourself.